Hey, Pisces, intuitive soul coach here with your July 2023 love and family reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right, so Pisces, in the position here of the recent past, you have the owl card showing up. So a lot of you were working on getting clarity, and I'm also getting this energy of research, knowledge, diving into something so you can come out ahead. Whether you are researching into maybe your family history, your bloodlines, your ancestry, for others of you, you may be taking a deep dive into yourself and figuring out the roles that you've played in situations and the roles that other people have played when it comes to family, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to self-development. So I do feel here with the owl, this is about you getting clarity on how to move forward so you don't repeat some sort of cycle, whether this is a generational cycle, this is something that maybe you don't want to pass down to your children, you want something new. This could also be when it comes to relationships, instead of going round and round in the same pattern, the same dynamic, fighting over the same things or arguing over whether they're little or big, you don't want to do it any longer. So I sense here in the recent past, you're getting clarity on how to move forward. So you may have done the deep research, the deep dive, the reflection piece of it, and now you're able to know how to move forward into the next steps. So I like the owl showing up for you as well. For those of you that are single, I do feel here that you're getting clarity on your life's purpose, your mission, your path. You may be focusing on your spiritual work, spirituality, taking a deep dive in and doing some soul reflection. I'm getting a really intense energy here with the owl. I'm also sensing that there are things that you weren't able to see prior that you're now able to open your eyes to. So it wouldn't surprise me to see maybe even the Eight of Swords showing up in your reading, or the Two of Swords, because I feel like you are removing that blindfold, Pisces, that you've had on a situation, and now you can see clearly. Now, in the present energy of July, you do have the Boots card showing up. This can be about the journey that you've been on, right? The long journey. Whenever I get this card, military shows up, but I'm also getting that song, and this may have shown up for you in the past. I definitely know it's come up, but that song, one of these days, those boots are going to walk all over you. So it's not necessarily that I feel there's a payback coming in here, but there could be some sort of karma or a karmic cycle that is shifting here. So whether you have put out great energy, you may start to see that show up in return. Maybe you've been doing the soul work and reflecting and the healing. Now the tides are changing. So I think that you're coming to the end of this long journey that you've been on because you can see the way clearer. And I feel like you've been doing that deep dive where there's a saying I heard the other day, the lantern, it's not the lantern itself that lights the way, it's the light within. So I feel like a lot of you are realizing that you have the capacity, the potential, the energy, the motivation to move forward here and break out of whatever held you back or whatever you felt blindfolded to, you're moving on from. So I like this boot showing up. However, it hasn't been the easiest journey. It hasn't been, just a smooth walk in the park. You've had to wear these boots, and sometimes they felt heavy, and sometimes they were difficult and challenging. Some of you have military in your bloodline, in your background, in your family, and this can also be a reunion coming together. Someone may be coming home, could be coming home for good. There could even be a celebration. Someone may have crossed over in the military, so July could be honoring them as well. Let's take a look at the near future. You have the butterfly. These are big changes. It makes complete sense with what we've been talking about here. So if you're breaking some sort of cycle, whether it's a family cycle again, if it is a pattern that keeps replaying out in your world, maybe you've been in a cycle of being single forever or with someone for a long time, there's something shifting here. And what's happening, Pisces, is you are spreading your wings because you may have felt those wings were clipped, but now there's regrowth, there is advancement, and I'm getting maturity. And a lot of you, you've grown, you've matured, you've evolved, and now it's time to fly on to the next chapter of your life, the next story. And what does that look like for you? Let's take a look. I'm also getting a J energy around you. So someone's name could actually be Jay, but I also sense, I mean, this could be Justin, it could be Jim, it could be James. Please take that as it resonates. All right, what's the heart of the matter here for Pisces when it comes to love and family? What do we have for Pisces? I also sense if some of you are going through a legal issue or a battle with family, someone's been struggling here. I get addiction. Now, we don't see the devil yet, but someone may suffer from addiction, whether it's from substance abuse, drugs, pills, shopping. It can be anything, but I do feel that there's a family member that may be coming to the end of their journey, as in maybe they had to deal with some sort of evolution, some sort of soul growth when it came to addiction. And I feel like there's something taking shape when it comes to that energy. Please take it as it resonates. Now we have the Queen of Cups. This is you, Pisces. Beautiful energy here where you are listening to your intuition, and your intuition is very strong, and you have compassion for yourself. You have compassion for others, but I feel like you're going within and you're trusting some sort of soul's truth because your soul is guiding you to move on. And instead of neglecting your intuition, instead of stifling it or shoving it in the back corner saying, maybe I'll just wait, right? Maybe I'll wait to do that, even though my intuition is not just a loud whisper anymore. It's starting to get your attention loud and clear with the owl. And I feel like you're listening to it. So when this Queen of Cups shows up, she gives great advice. She's very supportive, extremely intuitive, but she also has grown into a teacher even. Some of you may be healers, light workers. A lot of you watching are light workers in some way, form, or fashion. So whether you do this for a profession, whether you are a caregiver, a nurturer, or a light worker in your personal world, it affects all areas. But deep down on a soul level, you've come here to shift the vibration of the planet and break some of this generational wounding. And this goes deep. This goes back further than maybe you've even been aware of. And that could be something you're diving into more. Now let's take a look at the challenge or what's crossing your energy and how we can help you navigate through it. What do we have here for Pisces, please? There is something with mother wounding, mother healing. I'm also getting here father energy. Some of you may have had a very strict father, routine father. For others of you, there's been a loss around father, loss either physically, emotionally, mentally. Please take that as it resonates. It could even be that addiction energy. Some of you have lost a parent due to addiction. Now the challenge here is the 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles. This is all about family, right? So you're going towards this 10 of pentacles. Some of you have already been in it. Some of you are in it at this time. This is about lasting security, but there is an underlying instability that you are working through, hence getting clear, hence the long journey and the big changes ahead here. So the beautiful news, the beautiful thing about the challenge is it says you can flip the 10 of pentacles into the upright position. So a lot of you are working on healing that family drama or some sort of childhood wounding or deep trauma. This is a time for you to go within. And I'm actually going to be putting out a collective reading, most likely tomorrow or whenever you are watching this. I will link it I'll link it in the description box. Actually, it won't be out by the time you get this, but you may want to click that notification bell and subscribe if you haven't, because I'm going to do a collective reading on Saturn retrograding, because it's retrograding in your sign, which can be all about you. It can be about family. You may want to check that out. But the 10 of coins here is all about finding that stability that a lot of you have been seeking for quite some time, but the family dynamics and what you've been conditioned to, it's been a long journey. And this isn't just something that's happened here in your cycle. This goes back further and further. Take a look possibly at your parents, at your great-grandparents. So what's happening here is you're taking a deep dive, and I really feel a lot of you are breaking some sort of karmic pattern, some sort of energy in the bloodline, because you don't want to keep passing it down. And that was part of you incarnating into this family line in order for you to do things differently. And a lot of you are choosing to do that. And with this consciousness and this vibration rising, things are healing at such a rapid pace because we need to. We need to heal. We need to evolve because that's where we are needing and pushing towards heading. So things are coming up here that maybe have been suppressed for 50 years, hundreds and hundreds of years, but it's coming into a new light here. So the challenge for you as well is to forgive. Right? It can be to take a look and set healthier boundaries for maybe where you've been leaking your energy or putting out more of that energy. Some of you, for example, let's say you've come into this life to learn and grow from abandonment. Some of you maybe were abandoned by a father or by a mother. Perhaps you're here to break that cycle, to stick it out with someone. Okay, some of you, maybe it's addictions, right? And it could be addictions ran in the family for quite some time. Maybe you yourself suffered with it. It could be the time to break those addictions for good, right? So you don't pass them along. So your children don't have to suffer with that, and that they don't choose that path as well. So there is something quite deep here, and I have goosebumps. So a lot of you know your role, and you're getting clear on what your role is and how to push forward, because your intuition is knocking and it's loud, and a lot of you are saying, I'm ready. So I'm so proud of you, Pisces. This is a little bit deep, but it doesn't surprise me with the retrograde and with your energy coming in here. What do we have? We're just going to take a look, and I'm going to put the cards and how they're telling me here. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, wow. I can't wait to share this with you, Pisces. So in the deep, deep past, you have the Judgment card. There were some negative consequences. We just talked about that. There were some side effects from choices that you or other people made with the Judgment card. But I actually, Judgment is one of my favorite cards because it says that we learn, because we are in a dualistic world. This earth, there's light, there's dark, there's right, there's wrong, there's good, there's bad, there's evil, there's, it goes on and on. But the beautiful thing about the Judgment, and you can see here, there's two sides to her. There's two sides to everyone, right? We can live in that light energy. We can live in the dark. We come here to evolve, but that's the beauty of even the heritage, even the family. Sometimes we get nervous when we think about coming in and playing such a big role when it comes to family dynamics, specifically even for those of you that have really struggled and you have alienated yourself from family. You may say, well, Melissa, there is no flip side to my family, but there is. There is a flip side, and it's your responsibility to take a look and see what the downside and what the, positive. What's the negative? What is it that you've come here to heal? What is it that you've come here to embrace? Okay, the Judgment is about a second chance, Pisces. Now, when it comes to love, this is more of a deep family, I feel, for you. But when it does come to love, some of you have replayed out patterns. There's been patterns. Some of you may be on your third long relationship, your third marriage. This can be an energy of giving someone another chance, possibly, or starting anew, starting fresh. The Judgment card shows up and says, yes, there was negative consequences, but there's also earned rewards. This is about you growing and evolving through those failures, through those challenges, through those lessons, and rising above, being offered the second chance, because you have free will. You have free will to choose how long to stay in a cycle. And for some of you, you stayed in it far too long, and you're definitely ready to break that. Okay, this could even be maybe your family has all been married, right? Maybe they've all been with partners. Even if it wasn't always the best of partners, maybe you are the only one that's been single for quite some time, right? So you're coming here, even though it may be challenging, there's good and, there's good and bad to both. So you're being gifted the second chance here with the Judgment. How are you going to take that into your future? Now, in the past, you do have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords can be impulsive, right? They can be quick. They can be an unstoppable force. So there could have been an unstoppable energy that came in like a wrecking ball, right? This can be someone. It could be a person that you've met, Knight of Swords, Air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. For others of you, this is about chaos. Chaos, a chaotic force, right? Whether it's chaotic, whether it's unstoppable, it comes in hot. And that's what I feel happened for you in the past, whether it was a relationship, whether it was some emotions, some healing, anything that came in. Maybe it was unexpectedly, maybe you did expect it, but it was part of your evolution, part of your growth. And I actually like this energy because it stirred things up in order for you to see clear, change the trajectory here of this journey that you've been on, and it's going to allow you some sort of change. So this is really, really deep. I'm also getting a move. Some of you could be moving. Now in the position of what's above you here, what's in your headspace, what are you manifesting? The Hierophant. The Hierophant is powerful. It's divine guidance. It's taking a look at those beliefs, those traditions, the conditioning that's been brought upon you by family traditions, family cycles, habits, patterns, friendships, school, education. It's all of those things. And it's about you taking a deep dive into that and saying, what is my truth? What beliefs are true for me in this lifetime? Because sometimes we bring in cell memory from past lifetimes. Sometimes we come in with karmic cycles, karmic lessons, karmic people. Right? When the Hierophant shows up here, this is about you teaching because you've gained the experience and wisdom. So some of you are teachers, spiritual teachers. You may even be teaching your own children, as we mentioned, if you have them. This can be teaching others around you. It doesn't have to just be in a professional sense. This can be in your world. You're able to lead by setting that example. And I do feel here, Pisces, a lot of people look up to you, and they look up to you more than you think. And you've done things that maybe they wish they could have done as well, but you are that trailblazer. You are the one that's coming in, bringing in this change, right? And other people are going to be happy that you were that one that brought in change, because maybe they weren't ready in their journey, or maybe they didn't know how to make that change themselves. So when the Hierophant comes in, you're being divinely guided. You're not alone. You can see that he's looking back here, and he has this guide, right? He has, it reminds me, I'm getting Last Samurai vibes here, where you're learning about the enemy, whether that enemy is within, whether the enemy is around you, or you felt like the enemy was in the family dynamics here. You're learning about how to stay soft, how to stay compassionate, and how to possibly even build that enemy into an ally. Okay, and that enemy can even be your own weaknesses, your own patterns, your own struggles, your own addictions, dynamics, whatever this is here for you, but you're committing to achieving a higher level of consciousness with that energy. I like this. This is deep. This is probably one of the deepest readings I've done for you. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Now, in the near future, Pisces, we have the Justice card. The Justice card is about fair judgments. I like it showing up in the upper right. Whoa, they're right. Take a look at this. I'm going to zoom in here. Remember earlier we talked about the Eight of Swords or the Two of Swords, just because those are typically the cards that have a blindfold. Look at her. She has a blindfold on. And so there's something here with balance and justice coming full circle. This can be the energy of karma, because in the past, maybe it didn't seem fair. Maybe you felt like you were on this journey and you're wondering, what the hell am I doing here on earth? What's my purpose? Why? Why is it so hard? Why do I have to struggle? Why do I have to work on myself so much when it seems to come easier for others? Well, that's not always the case. We don't know. We don't know unless we walk in someone else's shoes. We don't know their story, right? We must have compassion, because we are all intertwined. We are all connected. There is no separation, right? There is no separation. And that's very important for us as a collective to come together and understand in order for this evolution here on earth. Now, the Justice also pertains to legalities. If some of you have been struggling with a situation in family, a divorce, alimony, anything of that nature. It's just been unfair. It's been a long journey here. I feel like something is coming to an end, and it's going to be favorable. I feel it for you. Favorable, maybe not just for you, but favorable in the highest good of all. Let's put it there. Now, how are you doing? How are you feeling, Pisces? You're ready to move on. There's that Chariot. So this can be a physical move. It can be moving forward instead of letting an old story play over and over. There's that Eight of Swords, even though it's not showing up here, which good. I'm glad it's not, but I feel that intuitively. The Chariot is about persevering willpower because you've been tested. Your dedication has been tested. That's why you have the Hierophant, because the Hierophant dedicates himself to his spiritual purpose, his passion, dedicates himself to what he believes is true for him, right? And this Chariot here is moving forward with that willpower. So this is about you not only being stronger than you think, but moving on. And I like that the boots, you can't see this here, but the boots are actually pointing forward. So I feel like you are moving on from something that has been challenging or difficult. Now the Chariot energy, this is Cancer. This is your fellow water sign. But the Chariot is also about your drive, Pisces. This is about your ambition. And for some of you, you went through a very long period, whether long to you is months or years. You've went through a long period of feeling stagnant. But it's important for you to know that in that time of lying dormant or stagnancy or routine, there was still personal growth, a lot of it. Sometimes we see physical results as the form of something, it has to be tangible. We look at the physical for our success, right? For example, we may think that we're successful if we are married or if we have, children, or if we have strong, solid relationships, or if we have a fancy car or a home. We tend to look at the physical. That's more of that masculine. Well, what's happening now is this world is vibrating in that feminine energy. Mother Earth is rising up, and it's time for us to understand that moving forward doesn't just have to include the physical piece. It now is really about going inward, right? It's about using your intuition. It is about you going through some of those internal struggles, the internal challenges, and facing them instead of needing to produce some sort of physical result. So that's important to remember. But you're on the roll here. I really like this. Some of you may be even taking a road trip. You could be seeing someone at a distance. You could be going back to your birthplace as well. Some of you live in a family home that has been around for quite some time. For others of you, you're buying a home for your family. Let's take a look at what's going on in the environment. Two of Cups. Two of Cups here. So this is all about that law of attraction. So what you think about, you bring about. What you focus on grows. This can be about the perfect partnerships, whether it's with another individual physically, or for some of you, this is what we were just talking about you self-reflecting and going inward. Okay, self-reflection. It can be about balancing the feminine and the masculine. And for those of you, I get that some of you are doing something different in this lifetime than you have in past lifetimes. Maybe you've been highly masculine because this earth has been very masculine even since the beginning, but we're shifting into that more feminine energy here to be softer, be more compassionate, be more intuitive. And so a lot of you have come here to be that compassion, that soft, and to go inward and reflect. And that can help you more so bring balance to your external world. But instead of looking outside for happiness, you're looking within, and you're going to see big shifts and changes happening because you've done so. For others of you, there is a partnership available, or you may be in one, or there could be a mending, a coming together. For others of you, maybe you're parting ways because that's part of ending this journey. Please take it as it resonates. Now, what are your hopes and fears? What do we have here for Pisces? Hopes and fears. All right, your hopes and fears here. 8 of Coins. I love this because this reminds me of Saturn going retrograde in Pisces in your sign. So this is about putting in the work, right? And I feel like you are wanting and willing, and you have put in the work here. And that's your hope, that your hard work is going to pay off, that you're going to acquire expertise, acquire mastery. The fear is, What if this is a waste? What if I do all this work to not receive any rewards? What if it's problematic? What if I continue repeating some sort of cycle? What if I'm not strong enough to break that cycle? Okay? Don't let the what ifs or the fears or the judgments, right? With the judgment in the deep past, don't let that energy hold you back from taking that next step, because you have what it takes. Let's take a look at the final outcome. What is the final outcome? There she is. There's that high priestess. I love that you're ending on her. She is the silent observer. She listens to her intuition. She comes up with those decisions that are decisive, and she sticks with them because she's trusting her intuition, not silencing it. And we talk about her as well because a lot of you have silenced that inner voice. Some of you may have chose to go off on a path because that was what you were conditioned to believe you must do. Some of you entered into relationship dynamics not because your intuition was saying this is my soulmate, but because maybe that person mirrored your father, mirrored your mother, right? Maybe it was something that was in your comfort zone because you've seen that's how your dynamics played out in your childhood, right? So there's an energy here of trusting that there can be a better or a more enriching or more loving relationship here. Relationship with self, relationship with others, relationship with your mother, your siblings, your children, whoever this may be for you. Your intuition is loud and clear, and it's time for you to tune in because some of you, your third eye chakra is opening. This is about you seeing things clearly, which you have the owl here as well. So this is a powerful read here, Pisces. Wow. I'd love to read those comments. Tell me about your story a little bit. If this is resonating with you, tell me if you are the one that is coming and breaking these cycles. I'd love to hear this. All right, last but not least, we have the tribe, hence what we're talking about here. You have the tribe. It's card 8. In tarot, that's the strength. You are stronger than you think, to overcome, to persevere, to stay determined, and take a look at those weaknesses, that self-sabotage, those patterns, and flip them, right? Live in the light, live in that powerful side of what it is that you are changing here. So card 8 is all about community. It is about belonging, being seen and understood by other like minds, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. You're discovering the essential qualities that you share with another, and perhaps also those that you don't share. There are times when you follow and the other person leads. And then, Pisces, there are times when you lead and the other person follows. The appearance of this card points to the importance of learning the proper dance between you and another. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of that dance. Yet you are also being asked to be aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat. You're in the perfect place to make changes in order to experience the best version of who you can be, whether that's together or on your own. The protection message. Okay, I'm going to read to you the protection message because some of you are still struggling with some of these patterns, these family traditions that may not have been in the most positive. Maybe some were, yeah, because there's that flip side, right? That duality. But I'm going to read the protection as well. Beware, Pisces, of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in the tribe? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within a larger role? This will never fulfill you. Now is the time to assess your willingness to be real. Stand tall, be you. Authenticity is true self-expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step into the role your heart tells you to take. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. We talked about you stepping into that role earlier as well. So what a beautiful clarifier here for you. Now, some of you may be coming into a new group, a new affiliation. Humans are social creatures. As this says here, humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful to our tribes, our families. Remember, red tent. Remember, there's traditions out there. This still goes on at times in different areas, but it takes a village, right? You hear that saying, it takes a village to raise a child, or it takes, it takes everyone to pitch in together. We lost that type of energy here, and it needs to come about. We need to be kind to thy neighbor. This is about us shifting our vibration to come together, because if we don't, we're going to see the flip side. And I'm sure you can imagine there's a flip side to everything. So it says here, in a tribe, everyone has an important function and feels that they matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community, Pisces, or an artistic one. Perhaps you're in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the tribe, your presence is needed. Yes, it is. Sometimes we tell ourselves, well, it doesn't matter if I don't show up. They're never going to miss me. Your presence is required each and every single day. And it's important for you to know and to acknowledge that you're not separate. You're not alone. We need you. I hope this resonates, Pisces. A very deep reading here today. They're not always going to be, surface. Most of these readings are deep and intense. That's what we're here for. That's why I channel these divine messages. I hope this resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Share, like, hit that comment. If you're vibing with the energy of this channel and you haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe and bell. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love.